Hello guys and welcome to another Premiere Pro tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you my list of top Premiere Pro features that only pro video editors know about. Now when you're editing every day, Premiere Pro will begin to build huge pile of cache files. With time, this can cause crashes and slow down Premiere. To fix this, when next you launch Premiere, simply hold down Alt on Windows or Option on Mac and click on the Premiere icon to launch Premiere. And depending on your version on Premiere Pro, a window will pop up with these four options. The first option will reset your preferences like the brightness of your workspace and so on. The second option will clear your media cache files. This option will make Premiere faster because we are throwing away those cache files. Now these cache files are temporary files that Premiere Pro stores when you are editing, like your auto saves and previews and so on. Now if you're having issues with plugin, check this option. This option has to do with plugin cache files. Now the last option is for audio third parties, audio plugins. If you have any audio plugins, you can check these files. Now sometimes while editing, you can mistakenly delete an audio clip and you can't use Ctrl+Z to undo because you are way far ahead to go back and get it. To fix this, simply select the video clip and hit F on your keyboard. This will open up the source monitor, and as you can see, it also creates an in and out selection, which is the exact length of the video on your timeline. Here you can just simply drag the audio and place it back onto your timeline over here. The next tip is how to delete duplicated clips from your projects in Premiere Pro. Now, a duplicated clip can appear a lot in your project panel when you import multiple projects or files into Premiere Pro. To delete them, you don't need to manually go to the project panel and locate them and start deleting them one after the other. All you need to do is to simply go over to the Edit menu over here and choose Consolidate Duplicates. And this will automatically delete any duplicated clips in your project panel. And the less you have in your project panel, the better. There's also an option in the menu to delete unused clips by going over to Edit and selecting Remove Unused Clips. But only do that if you are finished with the edits, otherwise all the clips that you haven't used yet will be gone and you might still be editing. Have you ever wondered what these digits are in your project panel, or do you ever use them? So it's time to make them more useful. To do this, come over to one of these tabs over here and right click it and choose Metadata Display, and come over to Premiere Pro Project Metadata over here and select the drop down over here. And over here you can begin to select what you do not need. For example, I do not need the media start information, the media end, media duration, video in point, video out point, video duration. I do not need any of these subclip starts, subclip ends. I do not need them. And next we are going to add a checkbox. To do that, click on the add property over here and give it a name. I'm going to give this a checkbox, and come down to the type over here and select Boolean and hit OK and hit OK. And now you can begin to check clips. For example, clips that you have used, you will now have checkboxes over here. But if you go back to the metadata, you can also add a box for text by going to the type and hitting text and hitting OK. And now you'll be able to add a comment, a description, or tags to your clips. That way you can be more organized. Now if you can't adjust keyframes because they are too close to each other, all you need to do is to open the menu next to Effects Control and deselect Pin to Clip. And now you can separate them as wide as you want. Next, as you already know, you can select a clip on your timeline to label it by right-clicking and going over to Label and choosing a color. I'm going to make this yellow. But the problem with this is that if you come over to your project panel, you can't find the label on that clip. To fix this, simply go over to this settings icon over here and select it, and go over and select Show Source Clip Name and Label. Now if you come back to your timeline now and right click on a clip and go over to label and give it a label yellow, if you come over to your timeline, you can also see that label in your project panel, the same yellow color. And that way you can apply labels to all of your clips, both on your timeline and in your project panel. And lastly, if you like to increase your export speed in Premiere Pro, all you need to do is to go over to your export window and come down and select video, and scroll down under video and select more, and scroll down to your bitrate settings and lower the bitrate according to your video. For 1080p, which is nowadays standard 10 mbs, will be just fine. So the file size will also decrease a lot as your rendering speed will go super fast. I hope you found this tutorial very useful. If you did, kindly subscribe to my channel and see you guys in my next video tomorrow.